Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Let's dive right into the MSAD #51 Board of Directors meeting that went down on May 21st, 2026. We're going to focus exclusively on the core board actions and district updates from this session. We'll be tracking exactly what the board discussed, the motions they passed, and what it all means for the community moving forward. So, if you're looking for a clear, objective summary of the district's multi-year initiatives and budgetary approvals, you are definitely in the right place. Here is how we're breaking this down chronologically. We'll start with opening and special recognitions, move into the district survey results, cover the strategic plan components for one campus and the MTSS focus, and wrap up with facility and infrastructure updates, followed by committee reports and next steps.
All right, Section 1, Opening and Special Recognitions, honoring Carolyn F. Small.
Board Chair Leanne Condura kicked things off by warmly welcoming Carolyn F. Small. As you probably remember from recent district votes, Carolyn is the official namesake for the brand new pre-K-1 school. And, it was a really genuine moment because Chair Condora, who represents North Yarmouth, admitted she was actually a bit embarrassed that despite the board voting on the naming, she and Carolyn had literally never met in person before this evening. It was just a very human, grounded way to start a meeting before diving deep into the heavy structural and educational planning.
Moving right along to Section 2. District Survey Results Review, Highlights and Monitoring Areas.
There's a really interesting contrast here in the data. On the highlight reel, things look fantastic. The data showed strong improvements in respect for diversity as reported by students. The district also got high marks for clear behavioral expectations, challenging thinking skills, and solid communication with both staff and families. But of course, a good survey also tells you exactly where you need to improve. The board openly acknowledged a few areas for further monitoring that have actually stayed pretty stable since last year. We're talking about a need for greater student choice in educational activities, better building-based professional development for support staff, ongoing HR practice reviews, and absolutely crucial, continued efforts in bullying and harassment prevention. So the main takeaway? While things are definitely improving, the board is actively tracking these specific pain points to inform future policies.
Okay, Section 3, Strategic Plan. One campus, building for now and the future. This quote right here really stood out because it perfectly captures the whole philosophy behind the One Campus project. Stakeholders made it crystal clear to the board it is not enough to just invest in space. The entire guiding principle for this physical expansion and the budgetary approvals tied to it is deeply grounded in maximizing educational outcomes. Every single brick laid and every room designed has to directly support the district's instructional goals and teaching methods. It's all about blending that physical infrastructure with a clear academic purpose.
So let's look at how this timeline actually plays out. The board reviewed the immediate action steps needed to finalize construction, making sure they can smoothly open 3 new pre-K-8 grade configurations by fall 2027. Following that, the big target for 2028 is to finalize the comprehensive long-term facilities plan. Now, a quick note on this, as of this meeting, that long-term facilities plan remains under review by the committee. Looking post-2028, the district's policy focus is going to shift toward ensuring equitable access to shared facilities. Think things like the Greeley Center for the Arts, the track, the turf field, and the amphitheater. The ultimate goal is fair and balanced use across the entire expanding district. Next up, Section 4, Strategic Plan. MTSS focus, meeting the needs of each learner. Priority 2 is entirely centered on MTSS, which stands for Multi-Tiered System of Supports. Basically, this is a framework dedicated to providing tailored academic and behavioral interventions for every single student. The board noted this is incredibly near and dear to the hearts of the educators involved. It's all about direct student support systems, dedicating those crucial budgetary resources to make sure the unique, diverse learning needs of every individual student in MSAD 51 are actually being met effectively.
All right, Section 5, Facility and Infrastructure Updates, Current Assets and Future Needs.
The facilities report was essentially a rapid-fire rundown of operational updates and necessary board reviews. First off, and I found this kind of surprising, the Greeley Pool diving board was officially removed. Why? Simply because the pool isn't deep enough to meet current safety standards, and honestly, there isn't adequate viewing room anyway. The board also reviewed post-portable field restoration at the middle school, specifically around the old softball field and the new arsenic mound containment area. Other key action items included approvals to expand art and STEM spaces to meet evolving needs and funding for IT infrastructure upgrades. Because, let's be real, it is vastly cheaper to repair and maintain technology as we go rather than facing massive replacement costs down the line.
Finally, they reviewed a central office improvement plan to help with staffing room and building efficiency, along with a few motions regarding potential grant-funded sustainability and energy upgrades.
And our final agenda item, Section 6, Committee Reports and Next Steps, Preparing for the Future. The Equity Committee gave a quick status update, noting they have just one scheduled meeting left for the school year. Right now, they're finalizing their data review to put together a recommendation to the board regarding the future of the committee itself. Because this work is still actively being tweaked and figured out, the district's formal equity plan officially remains under review.
On a much more celebratory note, the Communications Committee shared an upcoming milestone that really brings this whole project full circle. To mark the construction of the new school we talked about at the top of the meeting, pre-K students and staff are going to take a walk from Mabel I. Wilson over to participate in a beam signing ceremony. They are literally going to sign a structural beam that will be installed right into the new Carolyn F. Small School. I mean, what a wonderful, tangible way to connect the district's youngest learners to the future of their campus. So what should we take away from all this? MSAD #51 is clearly in a state of massive, deliberate transition. We see it in the bricks and mortar of the One Campus initiative, and we see it in the tailored educational frameworks of the MTSS. But as the district pushes forward on these multi-year initiatives, how will the finalized plans and the board's upcoming budgetary approvals ultimately shape the future of the educational landscape? Especially while so many of these long-term facilities and equity plans remain under review. It is a wildly pivotal time for the community, and the governance decisions finalized over the next year are going to echo for decades. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and definitely keep your eyes on these developing initiatives.